Always, always, always. Ladies and gentlemen, Wrestling Travel Podcast, episode 23. And today's episode is a special episode indeed. The last of 2020, and it is the Wrestling Travel Awards as well. As you can see, I was the only one that got the memo about wearing the suit. And Mad Dog has got a completely different memo where I'm not sure where that came from at all. But
I got told to look festive.
Absolutely fantastic indeed. And my name is Danny, of course, at Wrestling Travel. Today, look at our fantastic guest wrapping up our final episode of the year. We've got our US representative and the host of the lockdown sessions, Justin Clapper. We've got SP3 from True Heel Heat, and of course, on Alex McCarthy's Wrestling Daily, we've got Stewie from Stu's Wrestling Podcast, where you can find on Powered 4 TV. And we've got Father Christmas, Mad Dog Mike Angus down at the bottom of the screen there, feeling very festive indeed. But we are kicking off this episode with a special guest, one of our favorite guests that we have here on the Wrestling Travel Podcast to kick off the awards. And it is Mr. Franco Varga. Franco, how you doing?
What's going on? What's going on,
Franco!
Danny? True Heel. Oh, my God. Mad Dogs and Stewie's here. Oh, my God. We even got the clap on here.
Sorry, how was that happen?
Thanks for having me yet again. I don't know if we can call me special now. I'm like an honorary host now. Am I?
Yeah.
but no, thanks for having me again. It's been a crazy week for me, as sure Justin knows. So it's been a crazy week for me. I don't know if you guys know, but the northeast of America, we're getting hit with a bunch of snow. Thanks for that, Santa. Appreciate that. So yeah, my flight plans have been a little delayed, is the fun way of putting it. So yeah.
Well, hey, one of the things I wanted to have you on specifically this show was, it's been all over the internet about the roast of Franco Varga, but obviously with this nor'easter, can you give us an update, or do you have an update?
So the update is we are. So Tony was going to get stuck in Detroit. We didn't really want to do that, and then I was going to get stuck in Atlanta of all places. So I didn't want to do that. My least favorite airport too. It's huge for no reason. Well, it's a tie with Dallas. If you ever been to Dallas,
Yeah, I have. You have, yeah.
The worst. So I it was cringeworthy to even think of that. So we kind of decided that it's probably going to be, our in-person meet and greet got canceled at the gym. One of the gyms that Tony was working out at during his run when he won. He's a bodybuilding Hall of Famer, so as well, people forget that. So we're probably going to do this thing in January. We got a lot of thumbs up from everyone. So the production crew, everybody kind of traveling in for this. Everyone's kind of decided that it's probably for the best, So, the gym wasn't super happy because I guess people were already super excited to meet us and be there and all that. And me and Tony were going to be part of this bench press competition, which that's one of my favorites. So I don't know if Big Tony can hang anymore. If you're listening, Tony, that's I challenge him all the time when we work out, but.
Oh, I bet he can.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he can. But yeah, so the roast of Franco Varga it's not dead. I was kind of hoping it would be because I don't want to be made fun of and have to sit there and take it. But it is what it is. But we have some more exciting things to do for next year. Another project that came up that I'm super excited about. First time ever. It's Fight TV and High Spots are going to be the video sources for that. It's going to be a worldwide event, and it's going to be something. Literally, it says it in the name. First time ever matchups. Just that's the whole premise of it. So this guy versus that guy for the first time ever in the world. There's no show like that. There's a lot of storyline shows and there's a lot of independent shows that I'm on that continue on with storylines and this guy versus that guy for the 10th time or something. But there's no show that's specifically a new opponent for that person every time. I think it's a pretty cool concept. So something we don't see all the time. So it'll be a quarterly show. So every 3 months, you'll see a bunch of really cool ones. So my match is gonna be exciting. I'll give you guys the graphics. We'll do like a exclusive wrestling travel since I'm a host on here now.
That is am I correct in that show is in February, right, Franco?
February the 28th, live on Fight TV, and then March 2nd on High Spots Network.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Good stuff.
I know with the roast, you're not going to get out of it this easy because I've been getting videos coming in left, right, and center.
I've been hoping that everyone forgot.
And then now I'm going to be able to reach out to everybody that said, hey, kid, I don't think I have time because of the holidays. I'm like, hey, we got time now. So I was looking forward to it. Well, you know what though, and gentlemen and everybody listening, ladies, this is not only just like this roast of Franco. There's a documentary of Franco and what he's done in wrestling to go along with it. Obviously, you were very nice to pass along the video from Ron Simmons that we shared yesterday. So,
Ron watched it, and he was like, man, sarcastically, he was like, "Oh, it brought me to tears," but in all actuality, he said, "This is this kind of just shows who you are as a person and why you're, in my close circle of guys that I keep, like giving advice to, and you kind of see a little bit of the." Not even from me. You actually hear from my wife kind of why the negotiations with WWE fell apart a few years ago for me. So it's something pretty candid that I really don't talk about too much. It was her fault. No, I was kidding.
That would be Stewie's story, wouldn't it?
Yeah, don't. Whatever you do, Franco, don't blame the missus.
Is this an anti-wife podcast or something?
Right. But you get to see that. You get to see some snippets of me from all over the world. A lot of the charity stuff that I do, I'm a softie for the charity stuff, and I'm, so yeah, it's cool. I think it kind of opened my eyes to myself. Like, wow, I kind of have done a little bit of stuff in this crazy world of wrestling. So, and then most importantly, like, I did it my way. Like, if I stopped wrestling today, I'd be proud of what I've done so far, just because I did it my way. I didn't need some $1 billion corporation or Thousandaire, really, independent TV wrestling place like Impact or any of those places. I didn't need any of that stuff to be successful, to defined by my terms of what success is in wrestling. So I think I'm doing okay.
Well, you were until you started appearing on our podcast. The numbers might have started going down, right?
I've been meaning to talk to you guys about that.
Yeah. Hey, we're looking forward to seeing you in the UK later on in the year, mate. Well, next year even.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of promotions haven't got dates sorted yet, but as soon as they know that you're going to be over at that time, I'm sure once they get the dates sorted, you'll find, you're going to have loads of bookings in the UK. It'll be great to see you on the show over here. So can't wait to see your work over here. Yeah.
Yeah, I keep getting these messages. Hey, mate, do you mind staying till April? I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to say 4 weeks. I think 2 weeks is okay. It's good enough.
Once you get over here, you'll love it. The weather's great. We don't have any of that snow over here.
I know. Yet, right?
Yeah. Hey, how much snow did you get by you, Franco?
Philadelphia got well, it's still going, but we got like 7. But New York, we got 30 inches in New York. So that's where my dad lives. I don't know why he still lives there, but yeah, New York got 30 inches today.
SP3 as well. Is that USP3?
Yep, I'm in New York City, so yeah, it's a lot of snow here and windy and cold.
Yeah,
so
it's crazy.
Not good combinations.
Yeah, very, very weird.
I'm out in the middle of nowhere in Wisconsin. When we get 30 inches of snow, you have a hard time the crews do finding where to put that snow. What do they do in New York and Philly with all that? Wow, where do they put all that snow?
The difference between New York and Philly and Wisconsin is that there's more than just 10 of us. So so we actually walk through the snow. We got stuff to do. The snow doesn't stop us. So people kind of take care of the snow on its own. And you'll see some yellow snow. I wouldn't eat that. But for the
You
most
see
part,
some brown snow a lot.
Brown
snow. It becomes like the person waiting on the sidewalk for the light to change with you. It's just a snowman right next to you at certain points. That's how it works in New York.
It's the worst, and the subways are even more packed now because of how cold it is outside, and it's rough. But Wisconsin, you guys got the all 10 of you guys know each other, and you guys kind of yell at each other from afar or over yonder, whatever you guys say. And yonder, yeah. So you guys have the luxury of like not having to go outside. It's kind of nice.
Well, welcome to my roast.
The roast of the clap, hosted by Franco Varga. I'm here.
There we go.
No, absolutely amazing there, Franco. But of course, thank you as always for joining us and giving us an update on obviously the current status of the roast and obviously what's upcoming for you in the future. And I'm sure everyone will join me in wishing you a happy holidays.
Happy holidays, guys.
Happy holidays, sir. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, guys. And, Happy New Year. I'm sure you guys will do a New Year special. I'm sure I will try to chime in on that. And whoever this Stewie guy is, because this ain't the real Stewie. This guy's way too quiet. Whoever this Stewie is, I don't like him.
I was listening. I was on your every word, Franco.
Yeah, I don't like this fake Stewie. Get the real Stewie back.
Hey,
for the real Stewie, please stand up.
Oh,
right.
Hey, Stewie, what's the heating like at yours today? Is it snowy by you, Stewie? Have you got the heating cranked up?
We had the heating on earlier, Michael. Yeah, heating. It's always the heating, isn't it?
Oh man!
Check that radiator next to you, Stu. Check that radiator for us. Is it hot?
It's tepid. Is what it is.
That's just money. That's just money in there, Stu.
Well, I'd love to stay and give you guys a hard time. The clap, and we got True Heel Heat, Dirty Santa, Fake Stewie, and of course, my favorite, Dapper Seamus. I love you guys.
They call him Fireface now.
And this is why so many people lined up to roast my ass because this is what I do. But no, I thank you for having me again, and I can't wait to see what wrestling travel already is one of the biggest things in the UK. So I can't wait to link up with you guys on different projects in the future. So it's gonna be a fun year for next year.
Sure.
Yeah, certainly, Frank. And once again, thank you very much indeed.
Boom.
Merry Christmas, Franco.
Very merry.
Fantastic. What a great guest and what a great friend he has become of ours, Franco Varga. And certainly next year he's going to have a fantastic year indeed. But fellas, we're here for the Wrestling Travel Awards. Shall we get cracking?
Definitely.
Yes.
I've been looking forward to this.
I can tell, Mad Dog. We can certainly tell. Some lights have come out now.
Are you going back to work like that after, Mike?
Of course I am. Can't wait.
Stand in the doorway.
The
like
boss is not going to be happy. He doesn't like me putting tinsel and lights on myself when I'm working, but, shit happens.
Miserable.
Oh, the watershed.
Speaking of fake people, Mad Dog, I've been looking forward to this off camera. What are the categories again?
I've got my notes. I'm organised. Got all my notes here, gang. Can't wait.
He's got his notes. He's ready for it. Well, the first category that we're going for is the breakthrough star of the year. So I'm going to come to you guys first just to go over your picks on that. Then I will reveal the top 3 votes from the fans that have been voting over the last couple of weeks through our portal there to make their picks. So I will start with SP3. Who is your breakthrough star of the year?
This one was a little bit tough because I tend to go with people who are a little younger in the game or making their first appearance on the mainstream, I definitely got to say Eddie Kingston was in the running for me, even though he's been around for a long while, but this was his first time on the mainstream. But like I said, I like to go with someone a little bit younger. So I went with Raquel Gonzalez of WWE NXT. She's a young lady that I kind of saw live in Evolve here in New York City, and she was green at that time, but she's become more polished, very fit into her role as the bodyguard of Dakota Kai, and she just made like her first appearance for NXT back at Portland in February, which was 10 months ago, but it feels like 12 years ago. But but yeah, over the last 10 months, she has just continued to improve and improve. Had that big spotlight on her at War Games a couple of weeks ago. So I'm going to go with Raquel.
Great choice indeed there. And Mad Dog, who is your pick?
Yeah, I can't remember who I picked. No, I'm kidding. I picked Ace Austin as my pick because we had Ace Austin over for Project X in the UK at TNT Extreme Wrestling. Absolutely awesome guy. It was, I'd seen him very briefly on Impact before, but then he's had a cracking year on Impact as well. And, he was just an absolute shining light, a great ambassador for Impact Wrestling. And when he came over and worked with us, what a star he is sure to become. I've followed his career since, and that guy has been a real standout and a shining light this year in wrestling for me. So that was my shout. And I also had a UK star, which was Big Guns Joe. So Big Guns Joe has been a real standout in the UK for us, and I just hope that he gets his opportunity to shine on a big stage, and that you guys in the States get to see Joe come and wrestle over there, because I know that he's absolutely hench, and he is one of the guys that you'll enjoy his work so much when you get to see him, guys. He's somebody you need to see live, and anyone in the UK, if you see Joe on any upcoming cards, make sure you get and see him. I've just see Justin checking that watch again that he's been talking about today. You should have one of them Flavor. You should have a Flavor Flav clock or whatever it is, Justin. I forgot. Sorry, we've got a few awards to get through, haven't we? I'll keep it short today. I'll keep it short and sweet for you.
Beautiful, absolutely fantastic. Stewie, who was your breakthrough star of the year?
I'm going to go with on this. I don't know, people might not agree with this one, but I'm going to go with, and I've had him on the podcast earlier in the year, outlandish Zicky Dice. And especially when he had his momentum on NWA Power. I know we get prime time now, but TV champion, got all the skills. He's great on the mic. There's more to come from him. Was trained at Black and Brave as well. Said he was going to be better than Seth Rollins. He said he told Seth Rollins that as well to his face. But reminds me of Eddie Gilbert. You can't teach charisma. He's got it. He beat Ricky Starks for the TV title earlier in the year. Quite surprised that he got it. I know he's since lost the belt, but there's so much more to come from him. I just love the guy. I think he's brilliant. He can do it all, and there's more to come from him. Secondly, Pillman Jr. I think a close second for me. He's had Nick Aldis recently, OVW title. So yeah, I'll go with Zicky Dice. Because he's really impressed me.
Awesome shout. Fantastic shout indeed. And Justin, what about your breakthrough star of the year?
Yeah, there's always a danger with the break. I mean, you just start thinking about these awards and you're going, oh, what about this person, this person, this person? My guy has been around for a few years, but when you first start to really notice him, I think he has yet to break out with the general, but I'm going with Sam Adonis. If you hadn't have a chance to see Sam, he does a lot. He was at Warrior Wrestling Stadium Series for a few shows, Independent Wrestling Expo. But yeah, if you haven't gotten a chance to see Sam Adonis, you're in for a treat. Talk about a guy with charisma, a guy with in-ring skills, and just a fantastic wrestler all around.
Some perfect choices there indeed. And if you want to know mine, I'm going along with Stewie's there. Brian Pillman Jr., what a fantastic year that he's had and developed. He's come on absolutely fantastic, hasn't he? And last night in the ring with Chris Jericho, he's come a long way this year. Obviously, Warrior Wrestling, OVW, AEW, amongst others. So Brian Pillman Jr. is my pick. But did the fans pick Brian Pillman Jr.? Here is the top three, fellas. So in third place is Ace Austin.
Oh, there you go, Michael.
As voted for by the fans. In second place, this one was surprising, is a single star, Jey Uso. Came in second.
That's a good one.
Fair enough, yeah.
And then the winner of the breakthrough star of the year, as voted for by the fans, is AEW's Darby Allin, who has got the award and voted by our Wrestling Travel fans. What do we think of that one, guys? Darby Allin.
Solid, yeah.
Had a great year.
Yeah, great year. Ending off the year, winning the TNT Championship. He's in a storyline with Sting, so yeah, definitely a breakthrough for him.
The best thing about all these awards is you really can't go wrong with any of the picks that even with you fellas and the fans. That's what's great about wrestling.
Yep, exactly, indeed. But some fantastic shouts as well there. Any of those could have obviously won it, really. But there was a few notable mentions that I wanted to mention that did get some votes as well. Orange Cassidy got some votes. Pat McAfee got some votes there, Stewie. I don't know if that was you.
Not for his promo skills, I hope. Maybe for his bumps at War
Just for his promo skills. The best promo on NXT.
I've warmed to him a little bit, SP3. You know.
Stone Cold Steve Austin just gave him a stamp of approval.
Wow.
No.
Yes.
Unfortunately, though, he was stamping a mud hole.
Stone Cold Steve Austin and CM Punk in the same week said he's the best promo in WWE, and he puts everyone to shame.
He'll shave his head and he'll have a goatee in a couple of weeks.
Absolutely.
And Darby Allin, guys, had a great year. But I've really enjoyed his promos recently on AEW as well. That one with the Sting picture card last week was brilliant, wasn't it? When he did that, I thought that was really good. So looking forward to seeing more of that next year from him.
Yeah, most certainly, indeed. And one notable mention as well, who got some votes, Dominic Mysterio as well, got quite a few votes in the voting there. For that one, on to the next category. This one, I think we may all have the same vote for this one, maybe, but it is comeback of the year is our next category. I will start with Justin on this one. Sorry.
Controversial here. My comeback of the year is from Impact Wrestling, and it's the Motor City Machine Guns. I love Alex Shelley. Fantastic. Nobody really expected it, I thought. And look at, they've performed solidly throughout the year. And that's where I'm going. Motor City Machine Guns. Final answer.
Nice. Stewie, what about your comeback of the year?
I'll go with the majority. It's Sting. It's a stinger all the way. And it'll be interesting to see what they do with him. Let's get him back in the ring. Past, present, future with him, Darby Allin and Cody. Let's see what they do with him. He's got it in the tank. He'll still pull the fans in. So yeah, I'm going with the stinger. What are you shaking, Clapper? What are you shaking your head for?
What did he come back? He didn't do anything yet. But no.
He's been on every show though.
I just look forward to seeing what they're gonna do with him. Open ended at the moment. So let's see what happens.
No, fantastic. And SP3, what about yourself?
Of course, recency bias would say it would Sting, but I'm not going to forget one of the biggest pops of the year at the Royal Rumble. I'm going with Edge. Yeah. Edge for the comeback of the year for sure.
And Mad Dog, what about yourself?
Yeah, agreed. Edge was my choice because we watched Royal Rumble at a Hooked On event here in Liverpool, and that Edge comeback, there was glasses of drink flying all over the place. It was one of the last normal wrestling nights that we had where we could watch the wrestling all together, and it was chaos. Johnny Storm, the Wonder Kid, was presenting the show there, and when Edge came back, that was an absolute melee in Liverpool. That was a moment to be part of. So yeah, Edge was my pick for that one as well.
Can I just interrupt here? And why is Mad Dog Mike Angus a ring announcer, and why are you not advertising for like every company in the UK? Like, I don't know how you keep it straight. You're like, and we were at this event, and this guy said that. I mean, you don't forget a thing, my man, and that's awesome. I mean, if there's advertisers watching, they need to pick you up. You need another side hustle.
Yeah, number one.
And I mean that with all due respect. Like, I mean it like fantastic. Like, you just name everything. You know where you are at every minute. It's fantastic.
Thanks, JC. That's as well as the side hustle of being like some sort of pimped up Santa Claus today.
No.
There goes all your major deals. But
Yeah, unfortunately there. But yeah, the top
I got Pepsi Cola are ringing me.
They're on the line, ready for a big sponsorship deal. But yeah, the comeback of the year, some great shouts there indeed. But the top three, as voted for by the fans, in third place.
Whoa, what's yours?
Yeah, done.
Oh, sorry, I didn't even say that. Yeah, mine is Edge.
The game, Dan.
Egg returning at the Royal Rumble without shadow of a doubt is my pick there for this particular category. But in third place, comeback of the year, we've got Roman Reigns returning as a heel, which I think fair shout.
Moment.
Of course, in second, we've got Sting debuting in AEW, and of course, first it is Edge returning at the Royal Rumble, and as you mentioned there, what an absolute pop it was when he returned at the Rumble. So Edge gets the comeback of the year for that category. But next, we've got the tag team of the year. We'll start with SP3. Yeah, the tag team of the year. Who is your pick?
This one is definitely a tough choice because usually WWE would not be in the running, but Street Profits had a very strong year as one of the best tag teams. Of course, Justin's favorite, the North, being the longest reigning Impact tag team champions. But I'm going with the only team on this list that have 2 5-star matches. Yes, the current AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. They had a Match of the Year candidate against Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, Match of the Year candidate against FTR. They had one of the best story arcs with keep constantly failing in the big match scenarios and then winning that match against FTR at Full Gear. They just had the best story overall, and they were a part of a 5-star cinematic match with the Stadium Stampede at Double or Nothing, so it has to be the Young Bucks.
Wow, I thought for sure it was going to be Street Profits with you.
No, I don't have a solo cup, so I couldn't go with them.
Brilliant. Stewie, what about your tag team of the year?
The Heart Foundation. Only joking. FTR I've got to go with. Coming over, obviously they got disgruntled with WWE. They've been showcased perfectly. They've come over. They know their worth. They know their value. Just to reiterate what SP3 has said, the matches they've been involved with, the Bucks, Omega and Page as well. I've got to go with FTR. I mean, the tag division is strong over there anyway, but it's a superb move. The depth in that division is incredible anyway. But yeah, they know their value. They know their worth. And it's good. It's good seeing with Tully as well. I like Tully being by their side. It's brilliant. The nostalgia factor because they're an old school team with new school ideals. What's old is new again, as we like to say. So yeah, FTR for me.
Beautiful. Mad Dog, what about you, my friend?
Yeah, similarly, FTR for me as well. I think they were, been brilliant when they've come across to AEW. They were great at WWE, and since they've been in AEW, it's great the nostalgia factor I think that they bring. So they had the Rock and Roll Express, and obviously the Brainbusters involved when they first came in. They beat down the Rock and Roll Express. I always enjoy it when there's any nostalgia acts involved, and I think to see those guys still getting the limelight and stuff, is great to see. And FTR have had great matches, as Stewie mentioned, and SP3. With the Young Bucks have done great, but FTR for me have just took it just there.
Brilliant. And Justin, what about yourself, my friend? Tag team of the year.
Totally unrehearsed. I'm going to let SP3 tell you who my tag team of the year is.
The North.
The North. There's no problem with the North. Everybody calm down. Walking weapon, Josh Alexander, all ego, Ethan Page, they're fine. The North is fine. And as you said, the most dominant tag team, Impact Wrestling this year, best in-ring performances. When we're talking wrestling, you're talking tag team wrestling, you're talking the North.
Hey, talking about teams with North in the name, there's a team in the UK called the Kings of the North, and they're the TNT Extreme Tag Team Champions, Damien Corbin and Bone Tour.
I reckon
they would kick the North arse, mate. Whether them.
Why do you
every week? Will be down
every week you step on everything I say, and when I get over to the UK, it's going to be me and you.
You bring your boys, you bring the North. Justin, you bring the North with you. I'll bring the Kings of the North with me. And I tell you what, 6-man tag, you're going down, mate.
Oh my God. Mike is totally stealing Mick Foley's cheap pop or cheap plug gimmick.
Right here in Liverpool, United Kingdom.
Thank you for asking who my tag team of the year was, Danny. I'm going with Impact's The North. Thank you.
Oh,
we've got Powered 4's John Scott.
Hey, Johnny Boy knows.
The Kings of the North there. But yeah, certainly my pick. I think FTR, fantastic. It's obviously moving over to AEW there. It's great to see them being able to do what they can do and showing it in the right way. So no, fantastic. FTR is my pick there. But the top three, in third place, we've got the Street Profits as voted for by the fans. In second place, the Young Bucks come in second place, and first is FTR. So it was tight though between those two getting first and second, but FTR came out on top.
I'm going to go on a limb and say, not getting one vote from the fans, the Kings of the North.
Danny, did you check that for us?
I think looking at I think they got 3 votes, the Kings of the North.
Go at the Kings.
Mike in his alias emails. Mike in his alias emails gave him those
exactly.
Yeah.
A chap called Miguel Angucio. Justin, you would love the Kings of the North, mate. You would absolutely love them.
No, you know why I wouldn't? Because you like them. Now I don't like them.
Don't hold that against them.
No,
I'll check them out, Mad Dog.
Howard 4 TV. Come on.
Yeah, no, I've seen them a couple of times here in the UK. Absolutely fantastic tag team, as well as the North in Impact Wrestling there. But the next one, this one could open quite a lot of potential picks here. Somebody's match of the year for 2020. I will start with the Mad Dog Mike Angus. I'm assuming it's going to be a King of the North match. Is that right?
No, I've decided not to go for the King of the North match from this year. There was one match. There's a few great matches from this year, but one that stood out for me that I just really enjoyed because it was a lot of fun was the Stadium Stampede at Double or Nothing back in May. I just thought there was so much fun stuff when I was watching that. I know JC was not a big fan of that one, but just there's a
wrestling match of the year.
Yeah, that was it. There was all sorts going on in that one, and there's lots of different stuff happening, and Hangman Page riding his horse about, Jake Hager going to the bar for a few drinks and then smashing it up. There was just so much going on, and I've always enjoyed like the hardcore matches, Falls Count Anywhere matches, and all that sort of thing. So that it was just a great shout back to that, and I just thoroughly enjoyed it. So that was my pick this year. Yeah.
Awesome. What about you, Stewie?
I'm going to go for Rhea Ripley and Charlotte at WrestleMania. I really, really enjoyed it. Really, really enjoyed it. Sometimes I switch off, got 100 things buzzing around in my head. So my Tractor Beam was on, and I watched that match. Incredible, and it's good. It's good. So we'll have a women's match this year for me as the one. It was brilliant. So good. Thought Rhea was going to beat her. Actually, I was quite surprised, but it's superbly done. And on a different WrestleMania this year. It's a normal WrestleMania, but I'm going to go with the girls on this one. Absolutely, that's my match of the year.
Beautiful. And SP3, what about you?
Man, this was a great year when it comes to match of the year candidates. Walter versus Ilya Dragunov was the best empty arena match. Like Mike said, the best cinematic match was for sure Stadium Stampede. Best singles match I saw was Okada versus Ibushi from Wrestle Kingdom 14. But the best match, you need a couple of things. You need a great build-up, a great storyline going into it. You need excellent work rate and in-ring action. And something that a lot of matches this year didn't have, you need a hot crowd. You need a crowd that's into every move going on. And there's no match that stands up to the Young Bucks versus Hangman Page and Kenny Omega from AEW Revolution. One of the greatest tag team matches any of us have ever seen. Just nonstop action, a great story going into the match, a great story told inside of the match, and it made a new star in Hangman Page. That solidified Hangman Page as a future AEW World Champion. It's set up. It was a part of one of the best storylines of the year with the Elite. So I don't think any match really has come close to that match in February.
Fantastic choice. Justin, what about you?
I just want to jump right on the coattails of SP3 there. What are the things that this year has proven the fans, the crowd, are just as much part of the action as the gentlemen or ladies in the ring. So that's something I am looking forward to for my vote next year at this time for comeback of the year is going to be for the fans. And I can't wait. So little foreshadowing there. But my match of the year happened on September 12th in Chicago, Illinois. We had a cloudburst at Warrior Wrestling. And then the next match up is Alex Shelley versus TJP. And if you get a chance to go back on Fight TV or High Spots, that's a classic. I messaged Danny over in the UK right before, and I said, this is going to be a banger. I thought with these two guys being able to do, I'm like, there's going to be action personified. The ropes were wet from the rain. It was a ground wrestling classic on the match, and I think it took a while for the crowd to be into it. But to me, I was very impressed. If you get a chance, go to High Spots, go to Get the Stadium Series, watch that match with Alex Shelley and TJP. There was a surfboard in there. It was classic. Stewie, you would have loved it. It was a throwback to just grappling. That's my match of the year.
Some fantastic
right up my alley.
choices there indeed. For me personally, I love the Volta versus Dragunov match. I ended up watching that after the recommendations on the podcast here. Watched that and thought, wow, what a fantastic match between those two there. So that is my pick for the match of the year. There was some notable votes. Orange Cassidy versus Chris Jericho got some votes there. Roman Reigns versus
Mimosa Mayhem.
Yes. Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Hell in a Cell. The Young Bucks versus FTR from Full Gear. And Suzuki Kota Ibushi. Which one was that from there, SP3?
That was from the G1 Climax 30, Day 13. That was one of the best New Japan matches for sure of 2020.
Yeah, but it's one I've still not yet watched there. I'm going to have to go back and watch that one too. But the top three, as voted for by the Wrestling Travel fans, in third place is from Backlash, the greatest match ever, Edge versus Randy Orton. A lot of people like that one there, but it got a lot of votes. In second place, AJ Styles versus The Undertaker in the Boneyard match. A lot of people liked the cinematic match there for WrestleMania 35. And leading the way at number one is the match from AEW Revolution, Hangman Page and Kenny Omega versus the Young Bucks, which is the winner of the match of the year.
Thank you. I was worried about the Wrestling Travel fans after they voted for FTR over the Young Bucks, but thank you, Wrestling Travel fans. Thank you for picking the correct match of the year.
Yeah, no, some fantastic selections and picks there for match of the year. We'll talk about
Can I interject?
Unbelievable. Go on then.
The Wrestling Travel fans are also True Heel Heat fans.
This is true.
I just want to say they're all our fans.
They've heard me talk about this match for 10 months. So thank you for listening.
They're fans of Stu's Wrestling Podcast. They're fans of Wrestling Travel. They're fans of True Heel Heat, and yeah, that's it.
No love for Mad Dog. Come on.
I've heard that they particularly like TNT Extreme Wrestling, TNT Ignition Wrestling, Superstar Pro Wrestling in the United Kingdom.
Go on, Michael.
And they said they're looking forward to seeing the Mad Dog versus JC.
Woo! Oh, man, that match is going to be money.
Got excited, didn't I? Got excited.
Indeed. Powered 4 TV, they've gone Boneyard match, Rhea versus Charlotte and Volta versus Dragunov for theirs. And
I love Powered 4 TV. I love Stewie, but I'm sorry. I like the match between Rhea and Charlotte, but that did so much damage to Rhea Ripley that does not deserve our praise. I'm sorry.
I do. I agree with you seeing what's happened to her over this year, but I didn't think that was actually going to happen after WrestleMania SP3, but it has. You're true, man. She's too good to be losing the matches she's losing.
Yeah, moving on to the next award. It is Event of the Year. Now, even though fans haven't been able to attend, obviously, the majority of the events this year, there has been some ones that have stood out indeed. So, Stewie, what has been your event of the year?
It's a tough one. It's hard. I've got to whittle it down.
We can come back to you if you want to have a little think.
Yeah, because I'm stumped here. I'm trying to think. I only want to pick one. Come back to me, Danny.
I'll come back to you there. SP3, what about you?
I mean, there's a lot that have been really good before the pandemic, during the pandemic. New Japan Wrestle Kingdom 14 was awesome both nights. G1 Climax 30, Day 13 is probably the greatest 2.5-hour show I've ever seen. WWE had the Royal Rumble, which has been great, and every pay-per-view they've had in the Thunderdome has been really good. NXT TakeOver 31 was a classic takeover. But I got to go with AEW. AEW has had Full Gear, which was great. Double or Nothing was great, but I'm going with Revolution. Like I said, the aforementioned Young Bucks versus Hangman Page and Kenny Omega, one of the greatest tag team matches of all time. That started Jon Moxley's AEW World Title reign, which in my eyes was the greatest run of any top title champion in wrestling, period. Beating Chris Jericho to pay off to their great rivalry that they had. You had the culmination of the great rivalry between MJF and Cody. You had Orange Cassidy's star-making performance against Pac. You had Darby Allin versus Sammy Guevara, and you had that hot Chicago crowd. Shouts out to Joel Bateman. I guess he's from Chicago in the comments section. Chicago delivered on this night, gave us a hot crowd, and this was an all-time show.
Brilliant. And what about you, Justin, over there?
Mine, again, there was a lot of great events, and we were home. We were doing nothing during this, most of us as fans. Of course, I was very lucky to get out to the Warrior Wrestling series because, again, shout out to Chicago. Some great events there. But the one event that really blew me away because I was so into it. They did such a good job that you remember when we were sick of like no fans and now we're kind of sick of fake crowd noise. The one event that blew me away that as I'm watching, I'm like, dude, I'm not even paying attention to the fact of no crowd or anything, but Impact's Slammiversary did it for me. You remember there was the Good Brothers showing up. We had he's all kinds of stuff going on there. They'd managed to do a good old, or I managed to avoid social media, but we knew guys were probably going to go to Impact once they got released. That was kind of the heat, but we really didn't know until it happened. And that event really blew me away because I was so into the action and everything going on that Impact did that I'm like, I didn't. I think I messaged you, Danny, as I always do, in the middle of stuff, going, man, there's no crowd and it's not bothering me. You know, and that was July, correct? Slammiversary, June or July.
Yeah.
So at that point, I was like, man, we miss fans. Trust me, I want them back. But that was the first one where I'm like, okay, I'm not even noticing that there's no fans there because, and I kept going, why am I not noticing it? They're not doing anything. You know, the arena was a little bit darker, but I was just, they had me hook, line, and sinker. So Slammiversary is my event of the year.
Great choice, Mad Dog Mike Angus. What about yours?
Well, I normally always pick like a WWE event as my favorite one of the year, but obviously, I thought they did a great job with WrestleMania 36, but just because of the no fans aspect of it, you know, it just felt like it was missing something. I hope so much that they can have fans back next year, obviously. So my favorite pay-per-view that I watched this year actually was quite a recent one, and it was AEW Full Gear from November the 7th, just the other week. I really enjoyed that show. There was lots of interesting factors on it. The opening match between Hangman and Kenny Omega was great. I thought John Silver really stood out on the show. It was one of the first times I've seen him, and he had that match with Orange Cassidy. That was brilliant. And then there was just a couple of matches that I just really enjoyed, which was Young Bucks FCR, MJF versus Jericho, and then the main event, the build-up with Eddie Kingston and John Moxley, I just thought was really, really good. And, you know, I was buying into the fact that Eddie Kingston could take that championship away from him, you know, and, you know, Eddie had worked with us at TNT earlier in the year, and it was great to see him being recognised on that level at AEW and being in the championship match. So, yeah, that would be my choice of events of the year. Really thoroughly enjoyed it. So,
great choice. And Stewie, have you made a pick?
Was going to go with AEW. The lads are going with it. I'm going to go with NWA Hard Times, the studio format. When we had the fans in, we had the TV title tournament as well. We had the interpromotional match. Flip Gordon, Nick Aldis, still champion. I've just took it out again. I've took it out. Yeah, I'm going to go. People might say, why has he picked that? But I really enjoyed Power every week as well. I know. I just hope it comes back in its full form. I know Dave Marquez is doing the stuff with Prime Time and they're aligned, but we need Power. We need Power back once they can do it. Billy Corgan and the guys are doing a good job. And yeah, I'm going to go with that. It's my event of the year. You know, Ricky Starks got the title, and then it set off the feud with Zicky. So yeah, I'm going to go with that just to be a bit different.
No, that's absolutely fine indeed. And my choice for 2020, Wrestle Kingdom 15, the 2 nights, of course, over in Tokyo, Japan. Of course, Wrestling Travel were there indeed for that. Some notable...
Liger's retirement ceremony happened over that?
Yeah.
Yep.
You were there for that retirement ceremony, Danny?
Yes, I was looking after our fabulous travelers on that trip earlier this year, but hopefully we'll all be back again soon to experience that. But some notable mentions in the votes: WrestleMania 35, 2 nights of that. Slammiversary, of course, what Justin mentioned. Some votes for Power Struggle New Japan from November, and there were some votes for Warrior Wrestling Stadium Series as well. Awesome. So you'd be happy to hear that. But the top 3 in third place, AEW Full Gear, as voted for by our Wrestling Travel fans. In second place, Wrestle Kingdom 14. Sorry, Wrestle Kingdom 14. Yeah. Getting confused. So Wrestle Kingdom 14, and in first place, as voted for by the fans, the Royal Rumble 2020 came out on top as the top event of the year. So Full Gear, Wrestle Kingdom 14, and Royal Rumble. What do we think of that? I mean, that was the last big WWE event with fans, wasn't it? Or was the one after that?
I was going to say, your top 2 out of the 3 had fans. That's awesome.
Yeah. I mean,
And,
Full Gear had
McIntyre as well.
1,000 fans in attendance too.
Right, that's true.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, with just a few there. But the next topic, it is shocking moment of the year, and it wasn't Stewie shopping last week as the shocking moment of the year, almost getting a divorce. And there wasn't any votes for that, unfortunately. But I mean, there's been some shocking moments, not a lot. But Mad Dog, what would you say has stood out to you as the most shocking moment of 2020 in pro wrestling?
I can't remember what I actually wrote as my answer for that one, but I know I would probably go with Sting returning, to be honest, because I thought they kept that under wraps pretty well. And, I certainly didn't expect it to happen at the show it did. And, I just thought that was a great moment in wrestling, and it was, it was good. Yeah, I enjoyed that. I'm not sure if that's what I put as my answer, though, but that's what I'm going with now.
No worries. Justin, what was your shocking moment of the year?
My shocking moment of the year was Kenny Omega and Don Callis, the connection, and then the crossover, which now we know that Kenny Omega is going to wrestle on Impact. So the Don Callis and Kenny Omega showing up on Impact a couple weeks ago, that was pretty shocking, I think, for all of us.
Yeah, no, definitely. And SP3, what about yourself?
I'm gonna have to agree with Mad Dog on this one. I gotta go with Sting. I definitely had Edge's return at the Royal Rumble in consideration, but there was rumors that Edge would be returning. Like, AEW just did such a great job of keeping this under wraps. And I see Joel Bateman once again mentioning Roman turning heel, and Roman was a big surprise as well. Him returning at SummerSlam and then turning heel on the following SmackDown was a big move, but Sting was just a shock. I just remember trying to keep quiet, not to wake up my twins with the excitement that I got when I saw my childhood hero, the guy that got me into WCW, Sting, debut on AEW Dynamite.
And what about you, Stewie?
I was going to channel my inner Tony Schiavone, but I wouldn't do it justice. That's his stick. But yeah, go with Sting. Got to go with the Stinger. The years in the biz, and obviously WWE, it didn't work out, but I'm looking forward to seeing what we've got coming from the Stinger, man. It's nostalgia. Great watching the guy. Yeah, I'll go with the Stinger. Make it a free for that one, please. JC.
No, and this is nothing on you guys. I'm curiously, and vote for who you want to. But that Sting showing up, dude, I loved it. My nostalgia was awesome. But the Impact AEW thing with Omega going over there was just, it blew my mind. So, I mean, and both things are awesome. But the Sting thing, I feel like I don't know. I feel like I felt like it might happen. I feel like a lot of people thought that.
No, because we thought it might happen at Full Gear. We even talked about it. So once Full Gear passed, that it escaped our mind. So we stopped talking about it. With the AEW and Impact, all the talk was about AEW and New Japan. So we had a feeling AEW would do some type of cross promotion. It was only a surprise that it was Impact Wrestling. And I'm sorry, the number of Impact Wrestling fans is very small compared to Sting fans. Sting has more fans than a whole promotion. So Sting returning is bigger than the Impact AEW crossover. I'm right there with you. It blew my mind that it was happening, but nothing blew my mind this year like Sting's return. Just how it was presented, how he came out, everything about it. That's why it was a big talking point and the most shocking moment.
Did we just get the heel freaking quote of the year when SP3 says, "I'm sorry, but Sting has more fans than an entire promotion"? I think that's the heel.
I didn't say anything
quote of the year.
The top selling T-shirt on Pro Wrestling Tees. Abra is all on it. There we go.
Wow. But yeah, I mean, this one was a tough one for me. Obviously, what's been happening sort of recently seems to have picked up obviously those shocking moments. But I'm going to go with with Justin there, the Kenny Omega Don Callis Impact AEW crossover there. I think I think it piqued my interest a lot more than it has done with the Sting thing and others there. So yeah, that is my pick. Looking forward to seeing where that goes. But the top 3, as voted for by our wonderful wrestling travel fans. In third place, it is the Kenny Omega Don Callis Impact AEW crossover. In second place, it is Sting debuting for AEW. And in first place, it is, of course, Edge coming out of retirement and making his return at the Royal Rumble. But yeah, certainly some not many shocking moments, but some good shocking moments indeed, to keep us hooked for 2021. Now, we come on to some of the big ones. Now, the next one is the Men's Wrestler of the Year, the Male Wrestler of the Year. Plenty of wrestlers stood out here indeed, but I'm going to go to SP3 first on who he thinks is the Men's Wrestler of the Year.
This one is a tough one because a lot of guys have had great years. Roman Reigns just turning heel and becoming the top star that that fans like me always dreamed that he would be. But he came back in August, so he had the best last 4 months of the year, not the best year. Drew McIntyre, one of the most protected WWE champions in WWE in quite some time, in recent memory for sure. Randy Orton had a great year, but it's Jon Moxley, and I don't really say this often. It's not even really close. Jon Moxley had the best year of anyone in professional wrestling. He was the most protected babyface in professional wrestling. He only took 1 loss on the year, and he got cheated and screwed out of it. He was an undefeated AEW world champion. He cut the best promos. He put on great matches with Darby Allin, Brian Cage, Brody Lee, MJF, Eddie Kingston. One of the best feuds of the year with Eddie Kingston. He popped a huge rating when he lost the title. So everything you would want. He was a draw. He was putting on great matches, putting on great promos, and he led a new company and established the AEW World Championship as the most prestigious prize in professional wrestling. No one had a better year than Jon Moxley. And then on top of it, the cherry on top, congratulations, he's having a kid as well. So how can you beat that year?
Fantastic. Mad Dog Mike Angus, who is your pick?
Yeah, I think Jon Moxley had a great year as well, but I think Drew McIntyre for me would be my pick just because he won the Royal Rumble. He won the big one at WrestleMania 36, became the first British champion of all time. He's had a great feud this year, long-running feud. And I just think he's done so well at a time when there have been no fans there. He's been entertaining. I'm sure he's won a lot of fans in the States who may not have been fans of his work before. He has worked so hard, and it's the culmination of a journey that's lasted, that's been over 10 years since he was the chosen one by Vince back in the day. He's come full circle. He's been back in Scotland. He's wrestled all over the UK. We've seen that. We've seen him build up in the gym, and the culmination of that story is this year. And he's done absolutely brilliantly, and I think his career is only going to skyrocket from here. So Mox has had a great year for me, but Drew McIntyre just pips him for me.
Nice. And what about you, Stewie?
MJF in third. He's been brilliant. It's been superb. Everything they've done with him. Then I'm obviously going to go with the Mox, and I've got to stay true to Drew, UK. Met him many years ago at Fan Access in New York, and he was absolutely brilliant then. Went away. I was like, he's probably never coming back. He's come back. It's incredible just to see the meteoric rise that he's had since coming back. And just to reiterate what Mike said, the chosen one, it took a long time, but he deserves it. He fully deserves it. It looks $1 million. Just a shame no crowds in during this, when they get the crowds back in. Can't wait to see him with the crowds 100%. So yeah, Drew. I've got to go with Drew.
Beautiful. And what about you, JC?
So many deserving people that have been named already. Of course, on my personal favorite list, and always will be, if you're talking about a pure technical wrestler, there's a lot of names we could put in there. I know SB3 with the New Japan, there's a lot of like technically perfect wrestlers, but I like Alex Shelley. We spoke about this other gentleman earlier, just having a phenomenal year. It seems like breakout year. Brian Pillman Jr. But I'm going to give you guys the most shocking thing for us five right here. The man that I am going to call the wrestler of the year is the guy who put the WWE on his back during this pandemic. His feud with Edge, going into his feud with Drew McIntyre. I just feel, and I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud, but I just feel like Randy Orton, even though I was very upset watching Drew and him go at it. And if I look back the early of the year, it was Edge and Orton. But then I started to realize this is a veteran putting a lot of the weight on his shoulders with the absence of like a John Cena and stuff, and actually helping out the return of Edge and helping out Drew. I just think, man, when I sit down and think about it, what Randy Orton has done this year, he's got my vote as wrestler of the year.
Fantastic. And for me, it's got to be with Mad Dog and Chewy there, Drew McIntyre. Fantastic year indeed. From where he's obviously been, come back, all of that, it is just a fantastic story. And to see him obviously get to the championship at WrestleMania was just a fantastic thing to see. And I still think he's getting better and better every single time. So fantastic there. But the top three for male wrestler of the year in third place, Randy Orton is third place there, JC. So he's got a few votes there. Second place is Jon Moxley. And in first, it is Drew McIntyre, as voted for by the fans. But it was close again between McIntyre and Moxley there. But McIntyre just edging it to get that prize there.
I don't know about Justin, but I'm getting a scent of UK bias here.
I'm with you. The fix is in. That's what I thought, man.
He hasn't even been wrestled in the UK.
How many Gmail accounts do these Brits have? That's what I'm wondering.
Plenty indeed. But it looks like that Dax from FTR is happy being tag team of the year. He's just retweeted our tweet announcing they are the tag team of the year. So Dax agrees with that indeed. But fantastic. But next is our second to last award. It is the feud of the year. Obviously, there's been some standouts indeed, but
according to my sources, we have 3 more awards, not second to last.
Go on.
I've got on my list, I've got female of the year, promotion of the year, and feud of the year. So I'm just trying to help out.
There is 3, so I do apologize to the viewers who have to watch this any longer than they already have to. There will be another a third award. But yeah, so feud of the year, apart from Mad Dog and Justin Clapper, SP3, what would be your feud of the year?
Feud of the year, there has been plenty of great ones this year. Of course, I got to go out for your UK biased here. Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton definitely had a feud of the year, but it went a little bit too long. Orton and Edge had a great feud when it comes to promos, but it really didn't have an ending. Sasha and Bayley was a tremendous feud, and I won't argue with anyone if they feel like they had the feud of the year. But I'm going to go because I didn't pick them as my tag team of the year, and I'm kind of upset that they weren't in the top 3. But the best feud of the year was the former AEW World Tag Team Champions of Hangman Page and Kenny Omega. The whole year, 228 days plus as AEW World Tag Team Champions, with them having dissension pretty much the entire time. And then it culminates in their big match at Full Gear. There was just so much great storytelling and a huge narrative throughout the entire year. It started from the beginning of the year with Hangman Page and Kenny Omega coming off a bad 2019 and deciding to just team up just once because they're elite members and they're going to try their hand in the tag team division. And then they came together. They just gelled. Their chemistry as a tag team was tremendous. But at the same time, they just had two conflicting characters. Kenny Omega doing his transformation into the cleaner while Hangman Page became the millennial cowboy. It was just great storytelling the entire time. And their match at Full Gear was an incredible opening matchup. And you can tell that they just left a little meat on the bone. And that was just a taste of what's to come. And this feud is going to probably spill over into 2021 as well. But for 2020, nobody had a better storyline in professional wrestling than the Elite's dissension. So I give it to Hangman Page versus Kenny Omega.
Great choice indeed, SP3 there. Mad Dog, what about you?
I'm going to have to go with two of the top three wrestlers of the year who had a great feud this year, which was Randy Orton versus Drew McIntyre. I can understand people saying it dragged out a little bit, but I think it had to just get the right storyline they wanted to tell. And I think they had the ambulance match at SummerSlam, didn't they? They had the match at Clash of Champions as well. Hell in a Cell, obviously, where Orton won the belt, and then obviously Drew winning the belt back surprisingly on Raw just before Survivor Series to set up that huge match against Roman Reigns. And I think just for that reason, that was the feud of the year for me, I think.
Brilliant shout there, Mad Dog. And Stewie, what about your feud of the year?
Retribution and the Hurt Business. I'm only joking.
You got me there.
What a way to curtail it, though, eh? You know what I mean? They could have made something better out of that, couldn't they? But
that could have been feud of the year.
Could I write for WWE? Probably not. But yeah, just sometimes the mind boggles, doesn't it? No, it's Drew again. It's Drew and Randall for me. Drew and Randall, just to reiterate what Michael has said. Yeah. I didn't want him to lose. He shouldn't have lost the belt. He shouldn't have lost the belt, but hey ho, that's what they did. So other than that, yeah, best that was the best of the year. Mr. McIntyre and Randall, Keith Orton for me.
Justin, we know you were a big fan of that feud. Is it your number one pick?
Justin,
you're on mute. You're muted.
No, we just
hey guys. Well, my feud of the year is not Randy and Drew, and I can go on the record now and say that every one of you is wrong.
Hang on, Danny hasn't said his yet. He might be right.
He might be right, but I'm going to tell you what the feud of the year was. You didn't look closely at the question. The absolute hands down feud of the year, AEW versus NXT/WWE. That is hands down, with the demographics, with the ratings, with the shots at each other, especially with the third-party cameos type stuff, and AEW taking shots back and forth, landing Sting. Hands down, the feud of the year.
SP3
Night Wars.
What do you got, SP3? What's bigger than that feud?
What was bigger? Like that's like telling me as a or you as a football fan that the Patriots and the Bills have the rivalry of the year. The Patriots always win. AEW always wins in the ratings to NXT. So I don't think that's a good feud unless it's going back.
No, you're talking rivalry.
I'm talking a rivalry. That's not a rivalry. It's a very one-sided beatdown every single week. It seems like, unless it's a themed episode of NXT. That's the only time NXT ever wins.
If you're AEW and you're gonna say that you're the hammer versus the nail in this rivalry, then AEW is the one throwing more shots out. I just think it's the feud of the year, hands down. You can't. What are they? They're going after our viewership, and they're throwing everything our way. Obviously, yes, on the surface, and you know what? I should have never prefaced this by saying you're all wrong, because those are all great feuds and great rivalries. But you have to come with me a little bit on this ride. There was nobody bigger throwing shots back and forth.
I think I would see more eye to eye to you if you just added one little word to both sides of that. AEW fans versus NXT fans. That is a great rivalry. That's a rivalry that goes back and forth. But AEW versus NXT, that's a one-sided beatdown. That's Goldberg versus the WCW roster from December 1997 to December 1998.
Let's say we go back to that day and age, and we call WCW versus WWE. In the middle of that 83 week beatdown, would you have actually been ready to say, "Hey, WCW hands down, WWE is nothing, and now look where we are"?
Well, even in those 83 weeks, WWE had the better overall show, though. Like it wasn't like they were just losing in the ratings, and WCW had the better show. AEW literally on most weeks have the better show, and they're winning in the ratings. So that's why I say it's a one-sided beatdown. I feel like those are two totally different things, because WWE in 1997 had some of their best television, and I would argue was the best year of Monday Night Raw. So even though they were losing in the ratings, they were honestly putting on the better show on most weeks. It was all about WCW's upper card and main event, why they were winning in the ratings. But this is totally different. This is a different scenario to me.
Well, everything that's nice in me, which is not very much, wants to be like a gentleman and be like, we'll agree to disagree, but I'm going to keep pushing this. Just because I want to, here's what I want to do. Here's what I want to do. I would like to, and I don't care if I'm wrong, to be honest with you, but I'm seeing that your points, in that I definitely see it. And trust me, this WWE guy has tuned in a lot more to AEW, because what I like what they're doing is they are bringing in these independent stars. To see my boys from Minnesota, Top Flight, being featured and signed, to Brian Pillman, Danny Jordan, bringing all these hands down, it's a great show. And then when I turn it back to the product that a lot of us grew up on, dude, it's no AWA. That WWE, it's rough. So I'm going to agree with you there. But, I do believe that we're getting this back. I would love to see what everybody else. I mean, and if I'm the only guy in the world that thinks that's a feud, then I'll admit that I'm wrong. But
I agree with you for once. I think it's a good call by you, but I think. But I can understand as well SP3's point, because it's I wasn't sure what they were looking for. Let's go to Danny. What was your opinion? Has Danny gave his yet?
No,
we've been talking too much.
Come on, Danny. Don't keep us waiting, man.
No, mine's Orton versus McIntyre as well. Even though there was a lot of.
This is reeking of a UK bias. All three of you have complained about this feud. So what are y'all?
I even got my missus to make fake Gmail accounts.
If this was like my first time on the podcast, I could be like, okay, I understand. These guys are UK guys going for Drew and Orton. But all three of you, I know, I have been here, complained about this feud. So how can y'all say it's the feud?
I agree, it did drag a bit, but I still think it's the standout feud of the year. It's just, yeah. Go on, Danny. Tell it. What did the fans think? Most importantly, what did the fans think?
Yeah,
that's what matters the most, doesn't it?
Yeah, there was some notable mentions. Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio got some votes. Roman versus Jey Uso got some votes. Mox, Kingston, Hangman, and Omega as well. But the top three are all WWE top 3 feuds of the year. Sorry, SP3.
Can SP3 and I guess what's number 1?
You can if you want.
Try.
Drew versus Orton.
It's not, actually. That's in 3rd place after some votes from this week. It was leading the way, actually, but it got overtook by 2nd place Sasha Banks and Bayley. And top feud of the year, Edge versus Orton. People voted for as their favourites. Edge quite popular with our Wrestling Travel fans, indeed. But yeah, the top.
I almost forgot about that feud, which was good. But it's kind of nice to see that a few people had their eye on Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins.
Out their eye.
I see what you did there.
I like that.
Fantastic indeed. But we've got 2 more awards to go, have we, Justin?
2 more.
Look at that. Oh, absolutely brilliant. But next, we've got the Women's Wrestler of the Year, and I'll start with SP3.
This one is another tough one. I really, really want to go with my girl Io Shirai. She had a great year in NXT. NXT champion, consistent every single time, from winning the title at In Your House to title defenses against Dakota Kai, Candice LeRae, Rhea Ripley. I would love to go with Sasha Banks, the great feud with Bayley, the Hell in a Cell match, which was, in my eyes, one of the WWE best matches of the year. Even Bayley, the 350-something day, 365, 60-something day reign as SmackDown Women's Champion. But I have to go with my girl, Thunder Rosa. Thunder Rosa, the NWA World Women's Champion. What a great reign, winning it at Hard Times and defending it all around the world. Coming to AEW, having one of the better AEW women's matches of the year against Hikaru Shida, who was another candidate as well for Women's Wrestler of the Year. And then creating her own promotion, Mission Pro Wrestling. And what that does for women's wrestling, basically growing the future of women's professional wrestling on the independent scene, working with Jazz to open up her own wrestling school. She did so much to elevate women's wrestling that I don't think any other woman has done. So that's why I'm going for Thunder Rosa.
No, a fantastic shout there, SP3. Great choice. Mad Dog Mike Angus, what about yourself?
Yeah, I've been a big fan of Thunder Rosa this year as well. But my choice is going to have to be Bayley. I think she's, I was never a huge fan, even, when I went to see her back in the day and it had the, the Friends and all that. But yeah, I think she's come on leaps and bounds this year and she's been very impressive. So, yeah, I'm going to go for Bayley as my choice. Although, so close with Nia Jax has got so much better in the ring that...
Mad Dog.
She hasn't really. She's as bad as ever. Yeah, Bayley.
Bayley it is. Stewie, what about yourself?
I'm going to go with. I was going to go with Thunder Rosa. SP3 said plenty about her. I'm going to go with Candice LeRae. That's who I'm going with. I think as a heel, it's been perfect for her. Her and Johnny Gargano. They are getting tongue-tied here. Her and Johnny Gargano, not just what she's been doing in the ring, it's been out the ring, the promos and stuff like that, and it's been a blessing for her that they've her and Johnny are healed together. The match with Mia Yim was a good one earlier in the year too. Enjoyed that. So I'm going to go with Candice LeRae. I think she's stepped up as a heel. It's been a blessing, as I said before. I'm going to go with Candice LeRae. I think the only way is up for her. Hopefully a title in the not too distant future. That's what I'm going with.
A great pick there. And what about you, Justin?
Well, what I love about this show and the friendship that I have with you four, like Stewie, like bringing out, seeing everybody's different opinions, but going from a war of words with the gentleman from New York City to I couldn't agree more with Thunder Rosa. You said everything very eloquently, but just to add, taking that NWA title and making it a true world title by defending it everywhere. What she's done with Mission Pro, and I know you guys at True Heel Heat have been proud sponsors of Mission Pro, but it's not even close for me. There's a lot of really good candidates, but if you sit down and think of everything she's done, how busy she must be, in and out, running her own promotion, the wrestling school, everything. Did she have an MMA fight this year, or was that last year? I don't even know. But
I think it was the tail end of last year or the beginning of this year. Yeah.
Man, if you don't at least have Thunder Rosa in your top three, I don't think you've watched too much of what's been going on. So and she's been a guest on the Lockdown Sessions. You've had her on as well, haven't you, SP3? So we're just waiting for Stewie to catch up. And
I need to follow up email ready for 2021. That's what I need to do. I don't like hounding these people, you know. I'm scary at the best of times. You don't want to be scaring these women off the ear, do you know what I mean? So, I'll send one. I will send another email in January. I've got to get her on. Absolutely. And there's stuff in NWA Power where what was going on with Melina. Obviously, we didn't get to see the culmination of that, and the match is with Allysin Kay as well. Just she was in my top 2 or 3 this year. Absolutely,
I'm looking forward to see what she does with Britt Baker. On AEW.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say, Danny, as well. Similarly for the Lockdown Sessions in the UK, we've had 2 of the best female stars from the UK, Alexis Falcon and Lizzie Everone as well, who are going to be clashing at TNT Extreme Wrestling at Merseyside Massacre on January the 30th. So, 2 great stars to keep an eye on from the UK as well. For you American guys who might not have seen as much before, that's definitely a feud you want to be keeping your eyes locked on.
Yeah, no, in the notable mentions there for Women's Wrestler of the Year, Lizzie did get quite a few votes actually there. So she's in the
very good
mentions. Oscar got some votes as well, and Diana Perrazzo as well got.
Yeah, she's had a good year.
Very good.
Indeed. But the top 3 in third place, we had a tie in third place with Sasha and Bailey. Imagine that. Tied in third place. Second place is Io Shirai. And in first place, of course, it is Thunder Rosa, voted by the fans. Who have certainly taken notice of her fantastic.
Putting my faith back in the wrestling travel fans. Thank you. You guys worry me from time to time, but thank you.
I thought it was going to be Drew McIntyre for that one. Somehow.
you know, I thought it was going to be Drew again. You know,
Drew in drag.
Oh, excellent. But yeah, on to the last award now. And Mad Dog, do you have enough time for the last one here? Just want to make sure.
Definitely. Yeah, I can stay for 10 more minutes and then I'm going to have to depart. But yeah.
Fantastic. So the last one we have is Promotion of the Year. Of course, a lot of promotions have faced some difficult challenges this year with obviously what has been happening. But Justin, what was your Promotion of the Year?
Now, there's all kinds of factors that can be taken into this, and I know that we will definitely argue on a little bit of this. But my Promotion of the Year is the one that set the precedence for getting fans back and how to run a show with a live crowd. I'm, of course, talking about Warrior Wrestling out of Chicago again. Steve and Eric started with that Friday Night Lights, said we're going to run a show. We're going to do it outside. They checked everything to make sure they could Wi-Fi Fight TV in, and they socially distance everybody on Friday night, August 7th. And it was a tremendous card. I was lucky enough to be close enough to be in attendance. I know True Heel Heat, I know you guys were sponsors of that as well. Just the care and meticulous preparation that went in, keeping the fans safe that attended with the social distancing, the mask, keeping the talent safe, and putting on an altogether good show, which led to And you can check it out. I hate to shameless plug the lockdown session, but the big eyeballs were on that independent promotion right there. In how to run a safe show, wipe the ring crew, wiping everything down, changing the canvas. I just think it was well done, and it kind of gave a blueprint when we didn't have, and we still, I know with vaccines coming out, we still don't know a whole lot about the virus, to be honest with you. But the fact that they went the extra mile, and you even had a little quote from like AEW. Of course, a lot of AEW stars end up on that promotion. That to me elevated Warrior Wrestling, and the fact that they were able to be one of the biggest independent promotions running. It led to the Stadium Series, put a lot of weight, and to me made that Warrior Wrestling Championship mean more than anything. This is one of the greatest independent titles. Of course, we've seen Ring of Honor treat their talent very well, very safely in the bubble. But I'm going to be a homer here to a promotion that we have a great relationship with, Warrior Wrestling, my promotion of the year.
Great choice. SP3, what about yourself? What's your promotion of the year?
I definitely got to shout out Warrior Wrestling because they were really a trendsetter when it came to bringing fans back, running the first big gathering of professional wrestling fans after the pandemic. The aforementioned Mission Pro Wrestling, what they really did for women's professional wrestling, putting it on the map again. WWE overcame a lot of struggles, so I have to give them that. But God, Monday Night Raw just stops me from even considering them for this award. And New Japan, if it wasn't for the lockdown, being locked down for 3 to 4 months, they would definitely be in consideration. But I think it is really All Elite Wrestling, AEW. AEW just had their first full year of pay-per-views and all AEW Dynamite. Week to week, they have the best weekly television product in professional wrestling. Their pay-per-views are all top-notch. And they had the match of the year, in my opinion. And they housed in pretty much all of our opinions, except for JC up there, they had the tag team of the year. So in my opinion, they had the best wrestler of the year. So AEW just checks all the boxes. When you want compelling professional wrestling on a week-to-week basis, no one is doing it like AEW.
Fantastic indeed. And Mad Dog, what about your self-promotion of the year?
Well, I've been a WWE fan for 30 something years, and I would normally always go for WWE, but this year, just for sheer entertainment wise, I personally have enjoyed AEW more than WWE, so I'm going to go for AEW as well. I think the storylines have been compelling, the action's been great, the stars who they've brought in and who they're growing all the time, they're telling stories. There's long-term storytelling. There's exciting, interesting stuff every week, and they're not letting talent grow stale. They're showing us what people can do, and they're giving people opportunities. And too many times I sit watching Raw and SmackDown and think, I've seen this guy on the independents before, and he was 100 times better than this match that he's having right now. And it's nothing to do with the wrestler. So whereas AEW, similarly the same guy, somebody I've seen before, is just performing awesomely and being given the right storylines to emphasize their character, and that's why AEW is my choice this year.
Brilliant. And Stewie, who is your promotion of the year?
I'm going for it. I'm wearing it. I can't go for anything else, can I? And just leading into 2021, the new characters we've got, what's going to happen with Miro into next year. It's the depth of talent within that roster. Just to segue into 2021 with it. So I'm just interested, compelled to see what they will do, what will happen with Sting, what's going to happen with Darby Allin. It's just so many variables, isn't there? But I think there's too many factions. That's my only bugbear. And my other bugbear, you don't need a four-man announced team. I'm not a fan when they do that. I like when they bring Jericho in, there's like a guest spot because he's entertaining, but I'd have two 2 on the commentary booth. Just some of my personal opinions. Like, there's too many voices sometimes on commentary going on for my liking, and it's all gone very quiet after me saying that.
Great point, sir.
Good opinion, Stu. It's good to hear what you have to say.
Just something a bit different with it, because we've all picked AEW, haven't we, so far? Except for Justin, he went for Warrior Wrestling, which is brilliant.
Yeah, I'm going to go a bit different than the rest and go for New Japan, for me personally. The only reason that is I think that's what I've, apart from the majority of the G1, that's the one I've had more sort of interest in this year. Not being able to keep up with the G1. I know SP3 watched it every morning on a fantastic schedule there. But yeah, I mean, you know, WWE's been a bit hit and miss for me. I've not really been into AEW until recently, if I'm honest. So that's sort of me getting into that a bit more now, obviously, with everything that's happening. Impact Wrestling, another one that's been fantastic that I've been keeping an eye on. And, of course, everyone that Wrestling Travel has worked with this year. Obviously, Warrior Wrestling. We've had TNT Extreme Wrestling as well, of course, that we've worked with, amongst others, the Indie Wrestling Expo as well. But yeah, no, it's New Japan for me. And as well, just as we mentioned about how they've handled sort of the pandemic and things of that nature as well, I think they've also been a shining light in how they handled everything right from the very start, with sort of keeping talent away that weren't obviously fit to attend, and obviously with the fans as well, they stuck to all the rules there, keeping them safe as well. So New Japan is my vote there, and the top 3 voted for by the fans of Wrestling Travel. In third place, it surprised me actually, because there wasn't many matches voted for from there, but Impact Wrestling came in third. In second place, New Japan Pro Wrestling, and first, of course, AEW came in at the top spot there. But those are the top 3 promotions voted by the fans this year, and that concludes the awards that we've got. Does anybody, Justin, want any honourable mentions to anybody that's had a fantastic year as well?
Well, I just want to, hats off to all of us, but the real winner in all of this, really, if you think about it, and we're all geared towards pro wrestling, but our sport, and I'm calling it a sport, we never stopped. We didn't have to stop. We went no fans. We did everything we could. So whether you, I don't hate any promotion. I love the fact that we have all kinds of, there's promotions that I love better, but I think the real winner in 2020, despite the pandemic, is us as fans. Whether even when the storylines were stale and we didn't want to see anything, WWE comes up with the Hell in the Cell, the Roman and Jay. So wrestling has been there for us this entire year, and I just wish all the promotions very good luck in 2021. I know Mad Dog has to get going, but before we come off, I have a gift for all of us.
Oh gosh!
All right, in the holiday season, and I'm 100% serious. I'm just off another lockdown session that has yet to air with the guy who ran the Independent Wrestling Expo in Dallas on August 29th, Kyle Hessler, who is getting ready for Independent Wrestling Expo 2 in 2021 in his own promotion in Texas, Pele Pro. In the midst of talking to him, he lets me know, and I'm going to let everybody know right now, if you have nothing else and you've got time this holiday season, the entire Independent Wrestling Expo from August is available free on YouTube.
Wow.
So if you hadn't got a chance to check out, and there was stars all over the place, please check it out. Give it a watch. I can't read it.
Great shout. That's all the year-end awards. Absolutely. FTR.
Send in some video, Di.
What I missed
later.
Yeah, no.
Right, gang. Apologies. I appreciate that. We'll definitely be checking that out, but I'm going to have to dive off now, unfortunately, as I have to head back into work for my second shift of the day. I'm so glad that I could catch up with you guys and hear the awards ceremony. And I'd just like to wish you all a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'm hoping we'll be able to catch up in the next week or two at some point over the holidays and see what everyone's up to. Enjoy your pigs in blankets and your turkey and cranberry, whatever you guys are having over there. And you can catch me. I'll be on Angus Mad Dog on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook as always, and sharing you all the most recent updates from TNT Extreme Wrestling over the holidays, and of course Superstar Pro Wrestling, where me and Stu are going to be the commentary team there. Last thing to point out, I know, Christ, I'm worrying already.
Oh, I'm still.
Last thing to point out, don't forget to check out mine and Stu's quiz that we took part in last week, and also my latest interview with Hardcam, podcast. And just to say thank you, Merry Christmas, and a Happy New Year, everybody. And I'll catch up with you all soon, okay?
See you later,
Take care,
Michael.
Love you all. See you soon, guys.
Take care, mate.
If that guy could get some self-promotion in on these podcasts, I mean, could we help him out?
Very, very good at that, he is, to be fair. I'll give him that all day long.
Well, it looks like we've set a trend then with FTR winning these year-end awards. So they're going to be expecting a few more, I imagine. But fantastic stuff. But Justin, I just want to go back to you quickly, because obviously we've worked with quite a few people this year. Obviously some great people like our friends at True Heel Heat, Stu's Wrestling Podcast. But is there any others in particular that you want to give a shout out to right from this start of the year all the way to the end?
Yeah, in fear of, I don't want to leave anybody out, but the one thing I want to preface this is by saying that what we've had to do, and I'll be real with everybody right now, our business, Wrestling Travel, is 100% based in bringing fans to their favorite wrestling events. We do a lot of, you get your hotels, your flights. We take care of everybody on the ground. Get your ticket to WrestleMania, SmackDown, Raw, whatever event that we go to. Our last trip that we were able to take was Wrestle Kingdom. And Danny, you were there taking care of plenty of fans. So it's been a tough year for us. I mean, and we haven't been able to do our core business. But what we have done is our values have never changed. And we're able to work with, and I don't want to get all sappy here, but the fact that True Heel Heat reached via the lockdown sessions and said, we'd love to do something. So the fact that SP3, thank you. I can't, the fact that you reached out on a comment on YouTube, and that has led to us really riding your coattails in what we do, and your knowledge and your support has been awesome. And I hope that we've been able to reciprocate it. I know I try all the time to give you an opportunity. If I see an opportunity, I'm always trying to give it to you. Stu, same thing. Look, I try to give you opportunities, and you guys have given me plenty of opportunities. So my shout out before I do to anybody is to you guys. I mean, we got a lot of fans. We're a big business, but like a lot of people, our door's been slammed in the face, and I'm proud of what we have been able to do this year. In just going, hey, we're gonna try to lift ourselves up from this pandemic and the fact that we can't travel right now. But we tried, Danny and I know we did. We tried to pull everybody up we could with us, and you guys in turn by lifting other people up. We've had no animosity with other people doing podcasts and stuff. I've happily going, hey, I've got a connection with this guest. You guys go, because what I love is I love to interview people, but then I love to go listen, because you're going to get a totally different interview with Stu, with myself, and with SP3. But some of the people, Warrior Wrestling, we've worked with Warrior Wrestling. They've been fantastic. Independent Wrestling Expo, Pele Pro is how it's pronounced. It looks like Pal. Wrestling Trader is another big one. We've worked with Rave at VIP. We've worked with Styling and Profiling graphic designer, great guy, Rich Baker. You'll hear a lot more about that. Wrestle Merch Central. You got to help me out with some of these, Danny, because we've done a lot. The fact that Franco Varga.
Power TV.
Oh, my God. Powered 4 TV. I feel like Stewie. I forgot Powered 4 TV.
No, you've not done a Stewie, mate. You'll always remember to plug it.
So many people, and you know what? One thing I'm really proud of is with the interviews with the wrestlers, being able to go, hey, we've and I'm not giving ourselves a pat on the back here. I just want to be very transparent. We've been very lucky to have helped some wrestlers get booked on some promotions, and we haven't done the work per se, like, oh, hey, we hooked them up. No, my big in life and in wrestling, if I know person A and I know person B and they don't know each other, I just want to make that connection. One of the guys that we have done that for, and you'll see him on the Independent Wrestling Expo, make a name for himself, but like a Garrison Creed, I got a lot of heat from some people going, oh, you gave him the hookup. I didn't. He did the work. All I did is go, hey, Mr. Promoter, check out this guy. I think he's got good work. And it was up to them. So I've been very proud that we've been able to do that for pro wrestlers. And I cannot wait until, don't get me wrong, it's not a sad story. We're going to have fans back. We're going to travel. You guys are all going to be with us, fans and everybody. We're going to do this. But I cannot wait till all of this is over. We've got a normalcy where we can travel. I want to be able to hook up wrestlers from the USA to come to the UK and vice versa. It's not even a holiday season because we were like this before. I want to elevate everybody. And by elevating everybody, we can't help but being elevated ourselves. Sorry. I didn't mean to go. I mean, that's worth going on a rant for, especially if we're not going to be on the air for the next couple of weeks. But I can't thank you, SP3 and Stewie, enough.
No problem, man. No, thank you.
Thank you, honestly,
just been SP3, man. It's been brilliant. It's been good. We've united through this awful pandemic. That's one good thing, isn't it, eh?
Yeah, I mean, if I can put you guys over, Wrestling Travel, you guys do great work in bringing people from the UK over to the United States and people from the US together and taking them to certain events. But even throughout this pandemic, with your main business being on the hold, you've still been able to unite the wrestling community. And, bringing me on and allowing me to have certain opportunities. I can't thank Justin and Danny enough. You guys do tremendous work. You guys are great at what you do. No matter how much Justin likes to be self-deprecating on these podcasts, this podcast is so much fun. And it's so entertaining because he is this way. And Danny is such a great host that kind of gives us all the platform to kind of say our opinions and talk about this professional wrestling sport / business that we love so much. Meeting people like Stewie, who's doing great work with his interviews. Meeting people like Mike Mad Dog, who's a great commentator, ring announcer, and doing so much in the wrestling business, and a shameless promoter that I love so much for his cheap plugs and cheap pops. He just does it great and fantastic. You guys are all just so awesome and just so genuine and kind people, and just allowing me opportunities. Justin being on our podcast, allowing me to be on lockdown sessions, and connecting me to so many different people. You guys are tremendous. You guys are awesome for that. Like Justin said before, Warrior Wrestling doing great, tremendous work. As I've said before, Mission Pro Wrestling, who kind of have elevated women's professional wrestling. I would be remiss if I forgot one of the original promotions that we have sponsored, Battle Club Pro, who has kind of been on hold because of this whole lockdown, but they had a great event on January 4th of this year, and I know they're going to come back. Joe Kim Morales doing great stuff with them, and they're going to come back strong in 2021. But just all the great professional wrestlers that I've been able to interview, from Thunder Rosa to the Von Erichs to it's been just a great year. Red Velvet, just a great year, just connecting with certain people, doing these interviews. AJ Kirsch, Royce Isaacs of the NWA, great journalists like John Alba, and of course I would be remiss if I forgot my Wrestling Daily co-host Alex McCarthy, because it was just through connecting throughout this whole pandemic that I was able to first interview Alex, and from there him asking me to be on Wrestling Daily and having a huge opportunity in front of more professional wrestling fans on Wrestle 2, on Wrestle Talk's secondary YouTube channel. it all became because of this pandemic. So like Justin said, this pandemic never stopped professional wrestling. It didn't stop the professional wrestlers. It didn't stop any of these promotions. And most of all, it didn't stop professional wrestling fans. So for every fan that watches Wrestling Travel, we got to thank you so much for sticking with us, sticking with professional wrestling, because your love, your dedication for this business and sport is the whole reason that we do podcasts like this, that I do True Heel Heat, that I do the whole YouTube channel and all the 101 podcasts that my wife likes to pick on me for having. It's all because of professional wrestling fans and people that enjoy content like this.
Well said.
Yeah, no, well said there, SP3, indeed. But just be mindful of the time now. Burnley kicking off in just a few minutes. SP3, where can we find you and your interviews and all your videos, etc., etc.?
You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at True Heel Heat, as spelled below. You can find our YouTube channel there as well. We are about 90 subscribers away from 1K. We would love, there's just, I think, 14 days left of 2020. We would love to hit that 1K mark within the year and just pushing ahead. And if we're not able to get it in 2020, for sure in 2021, but we just have daily content, True Rewind, where we go back in time to review the Monday Night Wars. We review all the weekly shows from AEW Dynamite, WWE NXT, WWE Raw, SmackDown. We have daily content, so come on board, come say hi. A whole cast of characters: Miss Chrissy Love, Top Guy JJ, Drunk Guy JJ, Romeo, Chris G. It's not just me. So if you don't like me, it's okay. You barely see me. You can see a whole bunch of great people from out in the New York City area that love professional wrestling on True Heel Heat. And you can also find me on the Wrestle2 YouTube channel every single Wednesday, live with Alex McCarthy on Wrestling Daily.
Fantastic. And Stewie, where can we find you? And I believe you've got a interview coming soon. Is that true, or being uploaded?
Garrison Creed this weekend. Thank you, JC, for that one. What a guy. What a guy. He is ex-military, served in Iraq. So I spoke to him about that. I love hearing about everything, not just the wrestling. That's just a part of the person, isn't it? So, yeah, Garrison Creed this week. And I can't wait to drop that one. And, announced for Superstar Pro Wrestling next year. Just waiting on the dates. Mr. Raptor.
Congratulations.
I don't know how I'm going to do that one. I'm going to be panicking, but I will give it a go. I will give it my best. I got Mad Dog by my side. I was only telling Justin the other day that I was panicking about doing it. But he's like, just go for it. So yes, I will. I'll do the first one. And yes, you can find us at Stewie P1 on Twitter, Stew's Wrestling Podcast on Facebook and Instagram. And there's another project in 2021 with me and Mac Davis, Hot Dogs and Handshakes, a new show. So we're just working on themes. There you go. Look at that. Go on, Mac. Yeah, he's approached me. And Mac's been working with Lariato Pro Wrestling in Georgia with the big LG Luke Gallows. And they've had some Impact talent on shows as well. So it was an honor to be asked by Mac to do that because he's got good standing in the wrestling biz. So, yeah, another little project. And I think that'll be me done then. WT podcast, my podcast. The commentary gig, and then the hot dogs and handshakes. That'll be me then. That's enough for me.
Can I ask one question? Have you been on True Heel Heat at all?
No, I've not been on True Heel Heat. We need to
be good at one of their review shows at least. An event. That'd be awesome.
We need to pick an old school event. SP3. It can be of your choosing. Something in the.
We're in 1996. We're in 1996. Come join us.
I'd gladly oblige. Absolutely, I would.
No, absolutely brilliant. We're great at connecting everybody together here through Wrestling Travel, indeed. But just for anyone that has joined us now, I just want to quickly run through the winners of the awards before we let you go. The breakthrough start of the year, voted for by the fans. Darby Allin won that award. The comeback of the year was Edge at the Royal Rumble. The tag team of the year is FTR, who have reached out to us on Twitter to thank us for that, and also to say to keep on coming with the awards, which I'm sure they will win plenty more as well. Match of the year, Kenny Omega and Hangman Page versus the Young Bucks at AEW Revolution earlier this year. The event of the year is the Royal Rumble 2020. Shocking moment of the year, Edge returning at the Royal Rumble. The men's wrestler of the year, Drew McIntyre. Women's wrestler of the year, Thunder Rosa. Feud of the year, Edge and Randy Orton. And the promotion of the year, All Elite Wrestling, all voted for by you, the fans. We want to thank you, of course, for taking part in that and for making our year enjoyable, especially here on the podcast as well. But there is just a couple of comments just to share with you. John Scott saying, great show, guys. Have a good Christmas and a happy new year. Our chief, Lee McAteer, can Justin confirm if his T-shirt was from the actual one from CM Punk's Pie Bomb?
Go on, Lee. Yes, lad.
I can.
Oh, there it is.
I've been mud holes and walking them dry since 1995. So yes.
No, fantastic. There we've got Randy. Hi guys. There as well.
Randy, I love that guy.
Yeah, we've also got Rashid, who is booked on to travel with Wrestling Travel.
And I love him more then. If he's booked it on, that's awesome.
He certainly is on board for 2022. We've also, of course, had Joel Bateman, who's been interacting with us throughout this episode. Summer Haino, Merry Christmas there. And Joseph Ali, keep up the good work. He's also Wrestling Traveler as well in the future. And Lewis Young, hi all. He's also posted on Twitter as well that he was watching on his TV, the podcast. And of course, Cal Rogers, who's making a name for himself as well, saying hello to everybody as well. But what a fantastic year it's been for the podcast. Again, want to thank Justin, want to thank SP3, Stewie, Mad Dog, Franco Varga. Who else have we had on here? We've had Alicia Atut. We've had Garrison Cree, haven't we? Sabotage has been on. We've had many names indeed. But thank you from all of us here at Wrestling Travel. And before you go, there is one more thing I want to say. Scrolling at the bottom of your page right now, you will see that travel packages for WrestleMania 2022 and AEW Double or Nothing for May 2021 are on sale now. WrestleMania is still the pre-release at this moment in time, so make sure you snap those up as quickly as you can before any sort of pricing changes there for the full release. And of course, AEW Double or Nothing in May 2021. I wonder what that event will look like now with Impact involved and potentially New Japan. Who knows? And speaking of New Japan, Wrestle Kingdom 2022 next January. Those packages will be coming on sale very soon. Head over to wrestlingtravel.org for more information. And of course, keep your eyes on our socials for all the latest information. Justin, is there any final words from you, my friend?
Thanks for everybody that puts up with our podcast, even if it's just to go to sleep, if they listen to it later. Thank you for supporting the lockdown sessions. I'm hoping I can get more guests on there. I do it just to promote the wrestlers. I need to jump on and do some more. Like Stewie says, these guys are starting to get busy. Look at the ties coming off.
I'm ready for the game.
You get ready for the game.
Really need to win tonight to stop Villa. We're fifth now after them 2 wins. They better do the job tonight, Danny.
We're going to do it. I can feel it.
Villa have got 3 games in hand because of the COVID and then obviously the scheduling. So, yeah, you better do it tonight. You know, we only got a draw at your place.
Yeah, not so good that day, pal. But yeah, thank you to everybody. Happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, and we'll see you in the new year. I think the first week of January will be our next live podcast there. So we wish you all
with the Bachelor Benjamin Boone as our special guest.
Oh wow! Okay, fantastic. But yeah, happy holidays and a healthy and safe new year.